welcome to the Bradford City v Colchester United match reaction. Just like to say before I start, if you can hear the rain, sorry, I can't do anything about it. I'm in the attic so it's louder. But yeah, can't do all about it. Poor result, decent performance. I think, we could have played better. We didn't play as good as we can do today. I think that a few players were the level that they've been playing at, and a few dropped off a bit today, and whether that's because it's Saturday, Tuesday, I don't know, but it does take a bit of time to get into that rhythm of Saturday, Tuesday, and not many training sessions. We probably would have had a rest Sunday and maybe travelling Monday, so I won't think we would have had many. Cook obviously got dropped, but I think it was more of a bit of a rest for him, and then he had to come on. But I think the first half of the game was okay. I think we struggled to control the first half of the first half, if you know what I mean. They seemed to have more of the possession, and we did seem to be a bit slow on the ball. But then we did get into the groove a bit, and we started to have more control, and we passed the ball a bit better. But I think what Colchester did well today was when Freddie Sears, their striker, were running into the channels a lot, and it caused our two centre-backs problems because our wing-backs were too high up, and I think that was a problem today. There were a chance in that first half that they had him behind, and Halliday just left his man, but Scott Banks got back. I think it's Scott anyway. Banks got back and tracked back really well and stopped the counter. I think Banks were brilliant today. There were a few. Gilead, some are saying should he be playing midfield. He 100% should be, because he gives the energy in midfield, like maybe Levi Sutton does. But he also has the technical ability that maybe someone like a Ryan East has. But he has a bit of strength about him as well. But so either my man a match. Let me know yours in the comments down below. I'll get onto the player ratings in a bit. But the goal at the end were poor defending. Mainly by Leangle, who came on. I like the subs. I think they happened at the right time. Oliver got the start, and I don't think he took his chance really well. But he has to be given service. He's the type of striker who needs service in the box, and then he'll work with what he gets. Whereas Cook and Howard cause chaos, or Cook caused chaos by his passion and his work rate. Whereas Howard, he's good technically on the ball and he has pace. So the different strikers than you need with different players. But that goal came on for Young. I don't think he had a good first half, Young. But maybe he shouldn't have been brought off at half time unless it were an injury. He didn't have a good first half. But for someone to come off at half time, it can be quite embarrassing. And for a young player, I hope he hadn't took it too bad. But yeah, it can be a tough thing for a player. But Leangle made the foul for the free kick, and it was a striker's tackle really. A bit clumsy, a bit petulant in a way, and a bit lacking of concentration. I don't know if it got him by his foot or he tugged him with his hand, but he pulled him down, and then I don't know what Halliday is doing marking their tallest player. I think it was Eastman or someone, whoever it was. They were a giant compared to Halliday. He got out jumped, and maybe we should have had Andy Cook on him, or maybe Leangle or Platt, someone who matches his height at least. Got out jumped, and maybe Lewis could have done better on his front post, but he has to adjust. But yeah, we weren't really at it, and that was just one error. We did have a few errors in the game, and it reminded me of the Barrow game with a late winner, and the performance. It seemed to be like that as well. At home, which is different to last season, we were better away last season. At home this season we're better than we were last season. We were poor. We do seem to be up for it. The atmosphere seems to grip the players, whereas away from home we do seem to be lacking that atmosphere and that push. We did have a few blocked shots, and that were a problem. We had too many deflected shots because they were aimless shots. We were hitting it at those players, and instead of hitting it when we had the space and the chance to, we decided to pass. And then when there were loads of players in front and we probably shouldn't have shot, we did, and that was the problem today. But I think when the good chances to shoot were, at home at Valley Parade, we probably would have took that chance, we probably would have scored. So I think the away made it a bit tough as well, because there were no real fans there for Colchester. I think they had 3,000, we took 467. Well done to the City fans who went, because it's quite a travel to Colchester. But yes, the fans did well, but I think, being away from home could be a real challenge this season. We haven't won away yet, and 2 home games we've had in the league, we got a draw and a win, and in all competitions we've got 2 wins and a draw. But that was their first win this season. But on to the player ratings, I'll try to do them quicker this time. Harry Lewis, I'll give him a 6, because he didn't get the clean sheet, could have been at fault for the goal. But apart from that, he made 1 or 2 really good saves in that. He made one which I think hit the bar, but he might have got a tip on it, and there were another which were really good reflexes from a header. Yeah, it was brilliant, and distribution is quite good. But goalkeepers do come out and say that fans criticise too much when it gets on the front post, because they don't know about the adjustment they have to make. He probably shouldn't have got beat there, but I'll give him the benefit of that. Anyway, 6. Moving on to Brad Halliday, I'll give him a 5, which is harsh because I like Halliday, but I think he got caught out too much today, and Platt and Critchlow had to do too much down them flanks. Rideout and Halliday struggled to get back, and Angol and Banks and Platt and Critchlow had to cover for him far too much. So yeah, I think they both had poor games, but Halliday up against Newbill, who's quite strong and physical, and Halliday, I thought he was, but compared to someone like that, he's going to have a tough game. But yeah, he didn't really match his standard, and he did drop off today, like I said, a few did. So I'll give him a 5. Platt and Critchlow 7, both solid today, both had to help out for the fullbacks defensively, and both stood up to a test really well. I like both so far, and I like that Hughes is actually keeping them 2 instead of bringing Odesina in, although I think he might have been injured today because he wasn't on the bench. He got brought in instead of Howard on the bench. But yeah, I think keeping a good solid back line is key, but I would rather see Folds than Rideout. On to Rideout, 5, same reason as Halliday, he ain't good enough going forwards and going backwards, and I've said it a few times now, Rideout ain't good enough, and I would like to have seen Folds play today, but I think Rideout could have been better today. Gilead, I'm going to give him a 7, and he's my man of match. I think he was brilliant today, running up and down, real box to box, technically good on the ball, and also physically good as well. He had a lot of strength today. And I think he's really underrated, and a lot of people are saying that he's underrated. But when loads of people say someone's underrated, they become overrated. But with him, I think a lot of question marks were raised. Is he a centre midfielder? Is he good enough to play there? And he's answered them in these last few games. He's really good there. He's matured there, and he's made that position his own. And it's only his position to lose. There's players who want to come in there, and he's made it his own. So I'm going to give him a man of match and 7 today. Smallwood, I'll give him a 6. He did drop off today, but it was still really good. But I'm marking him down just because of the little drop off. A few mistakes here and there, but he's still clear of anyone in that position in the league. But yeah, I think he could have done better. A few misplaced passes, a few needless fouls, and he did switch off a couple of times. But I can't criticise Smallwood, because for everything he does bad, he doubles it up with brilliantness. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. If he does something bad, he'll then reply and do something well. But yeah, he did drop off a bit from his standards. Chapman, I'm going to give him a 5, because he did drop off again from Saturday, and he had a really good game Saturday, and he just seemed a bit quiet today. Didn't seem like he were in the game. Neither did Oliver. But yeah, it just seemed like he wasn't playing. He did go hiding, and a bit like Callum Cook and Matty Daly when they played in that position last season. They went hiding. They didn't have the ball for quite a few moments in the game. So I don't think he created much, and I don't think he had a positive impact on the game. So I'm marking him down to a 5. I don't think he did enough today. Scott Banks, 7, brilliant again, and I do think he's going to rip League 2 apart this season, because he hasn't had any goal contributions yet, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. not long. Yeah, I don't think he's had many goal contributions, but he drives and he runs and he seems really confident. He's just missing a bit of a creative spark, I feel. But yeah, he's a really talented player, and he's only just getting into his stride. So it's going to be quite a scary player to watch for defenders towards the end of the season. But yeah, I really like him, and he's really excited. Well, he's excited, but he's exciting me as well, which is the main thing. Young, 5, he had a few bad shots, few that sailed over, few block shots. He seems like he's really fast, but he doesn't have the strength. He's young, but he's going to develop, I'm sure, and Mark Hughes is probably the right person to develop him with Hodges and Truman. So I think he does need time to develop. Angle, who came on, I'll give him a 7 because he changed the game. He gave us that strength, but he gave us a bit of technical ability. Give the ball away a few times, but he did change the game a bit for us. And he gave us something different. And I think for now he's better than Young, but in a few years' time Young could become a bit better with a bit more physicality. And Oliver, 5, again, non-existent, but is it his fault? Let me know what you think about Oliver in comments down below, because I do feel sorry for him. I don't think it's his type of team that he's playing in. His type of team's like Steve Evans' team last season at Gillingham, long balls. He won the most aerials in the EFL last season. He ain't going to be doing it this season, and I don't think he fits the style of play like Cook and Howard and Dangle do. So I do think he's finding it hard to settle. Maybe, he could change his play and become a bit more involved. But, he had a good ball in the box from Banks, and he didn't take his head a bit deep, if you know what I mean, the ball in. But yeah, I think he's a good player, but not for this team. And I think he could become a bit of a flop because of that, and it's not his fault. Like a Josh Wright or Jake Reeves or Josh Wright, they were a flop and in their own right. It was their fault. Whereas him, he could become a bit of a flop for us because he ain't playing in the right structure. So it's nothing against Oliver, but maybe we probably shouldn't have brought Oliver into the football club. But you do need different strikers. On to different strikers, Andy Cook and Howard. I'm going to give Cook really they should be getting 6s, so I'm going to give them both a 6 because, they didn't do enough, and they both had chances towards the end to give us an equaliser. Maybe they both should have took it, but they both are very good, and they both changed the game. They both have different qualities that we need, and we definitely needed today. Howard's pace and aggression on the pitch and off the pitch. And Andy Cook's passion as well, but his work rate, and we needed them. They nearly changed the game, but I just think we just lacked a bit of quality in behind them today. And maybe on Saturday against Hartlepool, them two could do a bit more. But again, it's very early on, and we do have to step it up on Saturday. But it's early on, and we lost to Barrow 3-2 to a late goal. We then beat Hull and Newport. We've lost today to a late goal. We might go on and beat Hartlepool, and I don't think we have Blackburn after. But yeah, Blackburn. So hopefully that happens again. We do respond to a late equaliser. I think they were the only subs and goals. I'll give him a 7. So yeah, let me know your player ratings in the match. Let me know your match ratings in the comments down below, and let me know anything else you thought about the match. But yeah, have a good one.